Hey guys, welcome back to the third session of the JavaScript. Inside that we're gonna cover number dates functions, advanced DOM, and also we're gonna discuss all about oops. After completing this one session, you will able to create a cool project like this one. So this is a complete website, but inside there you will learn a lot of new things that help us to improve your HTML, CSS and also JavaScript skill. Inside this one project have a cool features such as when you hover the mouse on the particular link, then other links has been hidden, right? Right now as you can see, when I hover any one link, then other links have been hidden, the decrease the opacity as well. The next one is when you hover the mouse, scroll down. First I'm going to refresh it, and when I scroll down, as you can see, this is the animation. As you can see, this is the animation. You will learn how to use JavaScript to add the animation inside the images. This is a tab section. When you click on the any one tab, you will get the particular tab data inside that, right? And this is a carousel. You can also set that testimonial slider. You can change the slider by clicking the next and previous button. You can use JavaScript to create that. I will teach you everything step by step, right? And this is a photo session right now. So we will cover a lot of new things inside the session. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back to another section of the JavaScript. In this section we're going to discuss all about number, date and also times. But before moving on dates and times, we need to know how we can converting and checking the numbers using JavaScript. So let's look at that, how we can convert and also checking the numbers. So let's say I'm going to use the console.log. And I want to convert the string into number. So this is a string right now, so, and as you can see, this is a string text or values, but I want to convert it, so I need to use console.log, and I need to target my number function. Inside the number function you need to use the parentheses. Inside the parentheses you need to pass the value. Let's say I want to convert the 23 string into number, so, and as you can see, it has been converted into string as a number, right? So also have another way you can use that to convert it by using plus sign. So I want to convert the 23 string as a number, we just need to add the plus sign, so right now, right? So this is a simple way to convert a string into number. Let's look at that, how we can use parsing, converting methods. Parsing, let's say in there I have used only numbers value, but I want to use the number and also text. Then I want to get the particular number as integer. Let's say I have a 23 ps means pixel or 25 RAM. So I want to get only number to convert it as a integer. So how I can do that? So you need to use console.log. You need to use the number object. Inside the number object have a parse and then you need to pass the value. Let's say 23 pixel. It will give us 23 value as an integer. So let's look at that, right? Also you can use same thing to using the RAM, so same thing, but you can't convert the value before adding the text inside before the numbers. Let's say I want to use x23, it doesn't convert the value. We will able to see not a number inside our console screen. So let's look at that. and means not a number, right? So you can use the number and then text after that, then it will convert the value as an integer, right? Also, the important thing is, if you want to make a space, you can do that. You will get only value, the particular value, like numbers. Let's say I'll use console.log number.percent, and I'm going to use the space 50 pixel space to space and save it. You will get 50 right now. As you can see, it doesn't affect inside the page. You have entire many spaces before and after. Why? Let's look at that, how we can display the float value, means 2.5, 50 point something. So you need to use console.log number.parse float. You need to use parse float. This time you will get the 2 point something value. Let's say I will add the 50.5 parser, then you will get 50.5 value right now, as you can see. Perfect. Let's look at that. Another function that help us to check the not a number value, means do you want to check the not a number value, you can use the function that help us to check that. So let's look at that. So I'm going to check if value is not a number. So you need to use console.log and target your object number. Inside the object have a function is and means not a number, but I'm gonna add the value as a number. You will get the false value. It will return true and also false. Right now, as you can see, false. So I will add another value by using string. It will also display the false value. So because this is a value, but I will convert console.log number is a number. I want to convert that value like this one, 20x, then it will return us true value. So let's look at that, the project. Right now, as you can see, true means it is not a number, right? So I think we're gonna let's use another example as a number, and I'm gonna add the calculation like division. I want to divide 23 by 0. It will display the false value right now, as you can see. Cool. Let's use another function, check if value is a number. So we're gonna use console.log number. This is the object name. Inside the object name have is finite, and inside there you will use the value. It will give us the true and false. Right now, as you can see, true. It is a number. This is a number, right? Let's add another value by using string. You'll get false. Cool. Let's use same thing, but this time I'm gonna convert that as false. Right? So it is function that help us to check the number value, right? So I use the number. You have seen the true value, otherwise you have seen false value after the 20 string and converting the value, right? Here another function that is working similar like is finite. So let's look at that. Console.log number dot is integer, and you need to add the value like 50. It will give us true and false value. Right now it is true. It is working similar like is finite, and I'm gonna add the string value like this way, save, false, right? So those are functions that are help us to converting the string into integer. So you can also check out the another functions is not a number, is finite, is integer. And also, do you want to display the dot value, means after the particular number, after that you have dot something like 5, 10, 2.5, like this one. So you need to use parse float rate. So I hope you understood as well all about that. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, let's talk about the math and rounding function in JavaScript. First of all, I want to get the cubic value on my console screen, so I will use the function that will help us to display the cubic value. So let me share with you how you can get that. Use console.log, use math.sqrt, and inside there you need to add the value. You will get the cubic value from 25 to 5, right? You can also use the manual way to get the cubic value. So I will use console.log and I'm gonna add the value like 25, exponential operator, and 1 divided by 2. So it will give us some result that I used to sqrt function. Cool, right now as you can see. So let's talk about the maximum value and max and minimum value. So I want to get the maximum value from my function or from my array. I can do that. So you can use console.log and you need to target math.max parentheses. Inside there you need to add the value. Let's say I will add 1, 10, 15, 13, 15 and 19, 14 and so on so far, like this one, but I will use 5. So once you save it, then you will get the max value 19. Also it is convert string into number without using any function inside there. Let's say this is a string value right now, integer value, but when you will use that as a string, it will automatically convert into integer. We don't need to add anything else inside there because it is a type conversion, right? So you can use same thing to display the minimum value, but I will use that same thing, but this time on there I will use that, right? So let's look at that. The main value, console.log math.main. So it will display the minimum value. So 10, 50, 30, 90, 40, or 400, and so on so far. So we will get the minimum value. It is also working similar when you will add the value like this is a main value, so I will use that as a string. It will also display the integer value. I don't need to add any method to convert it, right? Let's talk about to display the random number. And earlier we have used the random function that help us to display the random value. So this time I'm going to use same thing to get the random number. So let's look at that, console.log. So first of all you need to use math.random function. Yeah, just like that. So you will get the random number like this one right now, as you can see. But I want to remove the decimal value, so you need to cut that and use math.chunk and pass this one function right now, as you can see, just like 0, 0, 0. But I want to display the value 1 to 6, right? So I need to use times by 6. You will get 1 to 5 value because the math.chunk function will decrease the decimal value after the numbers. So just a minute, I need to save it because I didn't save it. right now, as you can see. So I need to add the plus sign and add the 1 value, then it will increment the 1 value inside our this one number. So it will display the value 1 to 6, a random number, right? A random number 1 to 6. Right, cool. Let's talk about how we can create a function to get the value and display the random value inside our console scheme. So I will create a function const random int. So in the random int, first I'm gonna passing the parameter main and max. Use arrow function, right? So inside there I'm gonna use math.flow. It is working similar like math.trunc function that help us to remove the decimal value from your particular number, right? Then I'm gonna use math.random and use parentheses. Then you need to use times by parentheses. So I want to passing the value inside my parentheses when I will call the function like random.end. So inside there you need to use max, means max parameter, minus by main, right? Then you need to add the 1 value like this way, and after that you need to add them plus main. So call up a return. So when I will call this one function, so I'm going to show you in a minute, console.log random int, we need to pass 2 parameters. The first one is a main value and next one is a max value. Just a minute. So max is a 15 value. So we will get the 10 to 15 a random value inside our console scheme right now. As you can see, 33. So you know how does work here? So when I will pass the value inside our parameter, it will assign on the max main value. The first one is main value and next one is a max value. So after that I have used the return function, I mean return keyword, to return the value. So inside there I have used the times. So this one will get the value from this one parameter. So here we will get the max value, then minus by the particular value that I have assigned on there, like this one, and then we need to add the 1 parameter that will help us to add the value on the maximum number of the parameter. Then we need to also add the main value after that. Then it will display the complete data inside our console scheme, like 10 to 50. When you will use the 1 to 10 on there, this is a minimum number and this is a maximum number. So it will display a 1 to 10 number inside our console scheme right now, as you can see. So it is a cool function that will help us to display the random number from 1 to 10 or 50 to 100, whatever you number enter inside there, right? So let's look at that. First of all, I'm going to comment that because I will rounding integers console.log. I'm going to use math.round that will help us to display. First I'm going to save it and let's look at that. It is working similar like a flow and also trunc function to display the particular number without decimal value. So we're going to use same thing, but this time I'm going to use 23.9. It will display the 24 because it is a round function that will help us to display the max value. So let's look at that. As you can see, 23, this is a 24, right? Cool. So when you will use the where it is trunc function, it will remove the decimal value from your particular number, like this one, 1 to 6. But when you will use the round function, then you don't need to display or add this one. So let's try it, but it doesn't work on there because sometimes you will get the similar type of value like 23.3, so you will get the 1 to 6 number. so I will use that on later. This time you need to know how to work it. So let's look at that another function that help us to remove the value 23.3. This is a function, solve function. It will display max value, so whatever your number will enter on there. So I'll use, so we're gonna try it on there. So but I will use same thing, but this time I'm gonna use solve. I'll comment that, and I'm gonna you need to get the data. Once user input document.querySelector, and the user input, this is my input text field name, like there, right? And also you need to use value, right? Let's check it now, it's working or not. Then I'm going to show you user input set, and I'm going to refresh the page. I'm going to add. Right now, as you can see, the text has been appeared inside our console screen, means it's working perfectly. So inside there, I'm going to use if user input modulus, or you can say that reminder equal to 2 equal to 0, then it's called the number is 11. The number is 11, otherwise no, number is odd. Right, so let's look at that. So I'm going to refresh the page, and I'm going to add the 2, click that. This is the even number, cool. When I enter 3, it is odd number, cool. I'm going to refresh it, and I'm going to add a large number like 150. This is the even number, right? So it is cool feature inside the user input to get the data and display the data inside our console screen. So I'm going to comment that, and let's look at that. The another operator, numeric separate operator, right? So let's say const price. So I'm gonna add that like this way, right? This is not readable, right? But I want to use the separate operator inside the JavaScript to separate all of the content. Let's say I want to create assign the value more than 1 lakh, okay, like dollar or euro, you can say that. So I'm going to use like this way. First I'm going to show you from small screen size or small numbers like 10,000. So I can separate that. You can use separate operator to separate the content, so you will get the perfect result inside our console screen. Right now, as you can see, 10,000, but you can decrease that, you can do that, right? So for the page, cool, right? So you can use that to separate the numbers and assign the number inside our variable, right? So I hope you understood as well all about the separate operator. Like this one, you can create a many content, use a value like 350. I need to use separate operator, 00 separate operator, and like this one, console.log, user value, and like this one, save, and for the page. Okay, cool. So I hope you understood as well all about the separate operator and also reminder operator. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, let's talk about the date in JavaScript. So I'm going to show you different ways to create a date, and also I'm going to use a built-in JavaScript function that will help us to get the date and time and hour, so on so far. So let's look at that. So I'm going to use console, create a variable now, and I'm going to use new keyword parentheses. Once you do that, then you need to target the now variable to get the date and time. Now let's save it and look at that, right? Also you can pass the parameter inside there to get the particular date and time. Let's look at that. I'm going to use console.log parentheses. I'm going to use that will be December 24, 2020. That's sad, and look at that, as you can see, right? But I need to use new keyword and passing that, so, and then you will get that right now, as you can see, Thursday, December 24, 2020, and the default is 000. This is a basically time, hour, minutes and seconds, right? Let's add the numeric value to get the date and time. Console.log new date. This time I'm going to passing the numbers. Let's look at that 20, 37, 10. By the way, the month is starting from 0. This is a month. The normal way to display the month is this is October, right? But in JavaScript it will display the number, right? Because this is the 0 base month, means 0 base month, right? Then day, hour, minutes and seconds. So let's take a look at that. As you can see, Thursday, this is a number. By the way, I'm gonna increase the number 11. It will display the December right now, as you can see, right? Let's work on another things. Console.log. This time I'm gonna passing new date, only passing the year, month and day. So 20, 40, 10. This is a number. This time I'm going to pass the date is 30. So, and you will get the Friday number and the date is 30, right? And this is a year. But I want to increase the number. Let's look at that. I'm going to increase the number 31. In November, you can't find the 31 day. So in JavaScript, it will automatically convert that number into the next month. So let's look at that. As you can see, Saturday, December 1. You can't find the 31 number, right? So it is JavaScript functionality in this situation, right? So let's take a look at that, the default JavaScript functions. So I'm going to use that command, and I'm going to show you the default JavaScript function that will help us to get that particular date and time. Const new. I'm going to use feature new date parentheses. Inside there I'm going to pass in the parameters without quotation 10, 90, 50 and 25, right? So I'm going to use console.log. I want to get the year from this one, so I'm going to use the future variable and use get full year. This is the default function that will help us to get the year from this one date. So let's look at that. As you can see, right? I want to get the month, so I'm going to use same thing, but this time I'm going to calling the function get month parentheses. So let's look at that. This is month, right? Also you can get the hours, seconds and so on and so forth by using this way, right? Hours and get seconds. save, and yeah. Also you can use the get month, get date, right, and get day. Right now, as you can see, year, month, date, day, hours, and seconds, but I'm gonna use that will be minutes. Save, and yeah, 25 minutes. Perfect. Also you can get the seconds. Those are default JavaScript functions that help us to get the particular date, time, seconds, hours, and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna check that on there. As you can see, inside there I can't assign the seconds, minutes, and so on and so forth. So you will get the 00 like this one. Perfect. Let's target. I'm gonna use console.log, and I'm gonna use future.toIso string. This is also a function that help us to get the time like this way, but you can convert that by using new date function. So I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna use console.log, and then I'm gonna pass the new date parentheses. Inside there I'm gonna pass it like this one. So then you'll get this date and time right now, as you can see, but I'm gonna use that like this one date, right? Perfect. So I'm gonna use that will be console.log future. Then you'll get same thing like this one, as you can see, Monday, November 90, 2020, 2040, and same thing like this one. Perfect. So yeah, let's target the time. So I'm going to use console.log. I'm going to target my future variable, and I'm going to use get time. It will display complete time like this one. You can also use the same thing to convert it. So I'm going to use that new date parentheses and passing that, then you'll get the time, complete date and time right now, right? Cool thing is I'm gonna get this time during the video. I'm gonna get the particular date and time. So I'm gonna use console.log. I'm gonna pass that will be date.now. It will display this time, as you can see, but I'm gonna convert it, right? So let's new that so, and yeah, like this one. This is my current date and time right now. Perfect. The final thing is I want to assign the different year, different month, different hours. I can do that in JavaScript, so I'm going to show you how you can do that. So let's change the years from this one date. So I'm going to use the future variable and use dot set full year, and I'm going to passing that value that I want to change that 2050 console.log, and I'm going to use future variable, then it will display the 2040 2050 right now. You can also change the set month. So this is the 10 means November, so I want to change that 11. It will display December right now, as you can see, Monday, December, and same thing. You can do all of the things that help us to display the date, time, hours, and so on and so forth. So I hope you are understood as well all about how you can create a date and time in JavaScript. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's talk about how you can use date, to make operations like compare the one date to another date and get the particular day between 1 to 2nd day. Let's look at that. So I have a first one. I'm going to create a variable const future new date. I'm going to pass in the value 2013 November day, and this is a hour, and this is the seconds. I'm going to use that feature and open the browser right now. So we have a complete date, time, hours, seconds, and many things, but I want to convert it. Once you convert it, then you will able to use the operation like comparison one date to another date, right? So let's look at that. So I'm going to use the number function, passing that date on there. It will display the complete milliseconds data like this one. Also, you can use the convert with the help of plus sign. You don't need to use the number function on there like this one, right? Cool. Once you've done that, then I'm going to create a function. Let's const day operation, and I'm going to pass in the two values, date1 comma date2. Right, the arrow function inside there, I'm going to pass in the two comparison, means date1 negative or minus by date2. So this is my operation. So once I close it, then I need to target my this one function that will help us to give me the particular difference between one date to another date. Let's look at that. So I'm going to use console.log, not that. I'm going to use const day1. This is my variable. Then I'm going to target my this one variable function. Inside there we need to pass two parameters like this one date1, this one date2. So I'm going to use new date function and passing the value like 2020. This is April. You know the month is starting from 0. Number 3 is April, and this is the date. The second parameter I need to pass the same thing, but this time I'm gonna make a space between one date to another date. So this is a 2020 year, and this is the date. The date is same. Month is the same and date is same, but I want to make a space between one date to another date. So I'm going to use 10, right? Then I'm going to use console.log. I'm going to target my date 1 to display the difference between one date to another date like this one, as you can see. So this is the difference between one date to another date, but I need to convert that into a number. This is the milliseconds, so you need to use this way. So after that, I'm going to get that and use parentheses passing those values, and you need to use divide by 1000 milliseconds times by 60 times by 60 hours times by 24 hours 60 seconds. You can use the 60 second times by 24. You'll get hours, minutes, and seconds. So once you save it, then you will get the particular difference between one date to another date. So two things are same. 2020 year and month is same. The difference between one date to another date. Let's use 30 to 30. Then you can't find the difference between one and second date like this one, as you can see 0. Let's add the one. I'm going to add that will be 29, and you get the one difference. Let's add the value on there 20. The first value is greater than, and the second value first value is a less than and second one is a greater than, then you will get the negative value. But I need to avoid that. So how you can avoid that? You just get the difference between one date to another date. So I'm going to use the function that will help us to manage that. Whatever the value is, math.absolute, so, and you will get the particular difference between one date to another date, right? Why it is important? It is very important to use that to display the particular date and time inside your application. Let's say you want to display the date and also you want to display the today, yesterday, a week ago, and particular date and time. So how you can do that? So you can use this way to get the difference between 1 to second day, and you will use the if else statement to get the today, yesterday, and a week ago data to display that inside your console screen, inside your application as follows, right? So I'm going to show you how you can do that. First of all, I'm going to comment that, and I want to get, first of all, I'm going to use const current date new date. This is my new date function that will help us to give me the current date and time. So I'm going to get the one by one value const year. So I'm going to target my this one variable to get the full year. You know, we have learned all about the get full year function in earlier. So you're going to use same thing to get the month. I'm going to show you why it is important, and this is a day, right? So I'm going to get that, get full, get month, and this will be get date, right? So I'm going to use that will be date. Perfect. Then I want to make a difference between one date to another date, and I want to display the text like today, yesterday, like 2 digit. You can do that 2 digit, so 2 digit. Also you can use the same thing inside the year, and I'm going to comment that because it is very important to you. Digit, so, and look at that, right? 2 digit, year is 2 digit. So this is usage of internationalizing date. So I'm going to comment that because you know how you can use that. So let's look at that, the internationalizing number. So I'm going to use const num and assign the random value like this one. Then I'm going to use the same thing, but this time I'm going to display the data inside my console screen. So the first thing is I'm going to use USA, use comma, new international dot, and this time I'm going to use number format, and inside there we need to pass the country code. So I'm going to pass the country code like ES, EN, US. After that I need to pass the, but this time I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to use format. We need to pass the num value. Then it will give us the complete number inside the console screen, but all of the numbers have a separated like this one, as you can see, separated with formatted. You can set that, right? Okay, so we can use the next thing is I'm going to use that will be Germany, and in the Germany I'm going to pass in the value T sub, and as you can see the German value. But inside the Germany I have a dot sign after the each number, after the particular number have a separated is a dot, but inside the US have a comma, right? Cool. So I'm going to use the last area, and code is here SY. So Cool, perfect. So you can use same thing like this one to passing the value inside there. So you can do that, but this time you need to change the parameters, I mean key and values inside there. So I'm gonna remove few things from there, and the first thing is I'm gonna add that will be style as a currency, and next key is unit. I'm gonna use unit will be Celsius. So, and we need to get that and paste after that, paste after that, and yeah, paste after that. So, and look at that. Okay, style. Number format. Okay, I will change that will be currency. I'm gonna use euro. So let's look at that right now. As you can see, guys, but I can't see the euro right now. Options in a minute. Let's check that. Celsius. Format. Yeah, I think everything is cool, but I don't know why I can't see the euro sign. So leave this one. So and no, I think yeah, you can use that. Okay, let's try it. The final one is use grouping false. Then I think it should be, yeah, it's working right now. Once you use grouping false, then you can't see the separated after the different numbers right now, as you can see. But I'm gonna leave that. It is also working right now, guys. As you can see, I comment out and I'm able to see the separate commas after the few numbers. So guys, I hope you understood as well how you can use the internationalizing numbers and also that, and how you can use that. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, let's talk about the timer function in JavaScript. It is very important to display the data when you will assign the time period. Let's say I want to wait the 10 second or 5 second. After 5 seconds, I want to display some code or some data inside my console screen or inside my browser. So I'm going to use timer function. So let's look at that. How does work it? First of all, we're going to discuss all about set timeout function. I'm going to use simple console.log and use please wait like this one. So, and we're going to open that inside my browser. So we're going to use the function set timer to wait the more than 3 seconds or 5 seconds. After that, we're gonna display some code. So I'm gonna use the set timeout function. This is a callback function. We need to use the parentheses. Inside the parentheses, we need to use arrow function, or you can use the normal function. You can do that. So I'm gonna use arrow function, use console.log, and I'm gonna use log like this one. After the parentheses, console.log parentheses, we need to assign the time period or seconds, how many seconds it hold the code. Let's say I want to hold the code more than 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, it should be displayed this one text inside my console screen. So let's look at that right now. As you can see, if you increase the time 5 seconds, you need to wait more than 5 seconds. Right now, as you can see, you have logged in, right? Let's work on it with different way. I'm going to use it with different ways to passing the value, and we can assign the values to display that inside our console scheme. So I'm going to use set timeout. Same thing. Inside there, I'm going to passing the parameter like value val1 comma val2, right? So inside there, I'm going to use the same thing, console.log, and then I'm going to use your first name is, I'm going to use literal template. Your first name is val1 and second name is val2, right? So inside that we need to pass the time period, right? Very simple, but you can't find this one value and this one value. First we're gonna check that. As you can see, your first name is undefined, the second name is undefined. So we're gonna use the value, we need to assign the value inside there. So where you assign the value, after the numbers or time period, you need to use comma and assign the value. Let's say programmer, and then you need to use another value instructor, like this one. So this value will assign on this one parameter, this parameter is assigned on there, this will assign on there, and you will get the programmer and instructor inside our console scheme. Right now, as you can see, your first name is programmer and second name is instructor. Right, cool. Also you can create an array, and you can, I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to use const user data programmer, and then I'm going to use instructor. So how you can pass this one array inside there? You can use this way? No. You need to use separate operator like 3 times dots, and then you need to pass the particular array. So look at that. But I'm going to increase the time period because we need to just, right now as you can see, your first name is programmer, second name is instructor. Cool. Let's look at that, how we can clear this one time period when the particular data is appear inside our console scheme. Then I want to remove that after a few seconds, or if I will use any condition inside there. Let's look at that. So I'm going to use if, I'm going to find the user data that includes, I want to find the data from this one array. If the programmer is appear or have inside our user data variable or user data array, then clear timeout, and we need to pass the value inside there. So how you can pass the value? I'm going to comment out, and I'm going to use duplicate of that because I need to create a user time, this one variable you need to pass on that, right? But I need to get that and paste after that, right? So save, and let's look at that. You can't see the data inside there because the programmer is appear inside there, means the programmer is a value have inside our user data variable, but I will change the value, so, and you'll get that. Right now, as you can see, your first name is programmer and second name is instructor. You can use the clear timeout, you can do that, right? So I'm going to also use comment clear timeout. Cool. Let's look at that, the set interval function. So I'm going to comment out, and I'm going to use set interval. So set interval is used to display the data or code repeatedly. Means I want to repeat some data after a few seconds, so I'm going to use the set interval function inside the JavaScript. So let's look at that. I'm going to use set interval parenthesis arrow function and use curly bracket. Inside there I want to repeat the code, like we are learning JS from scratch, right? After that we need to pass the time period, how much it will wait and display this one code. So I want to wait more than 1 second. After 1 second I want to display those data again and again. So let's look at that. As you can see, right, cool. But I want to include new, also include the date, then it should be display the date also as well. As you can see, cool, 41, 42, 43 and so on and so forth. So this is the usage of the set interval function, and this is the usage of the set timeout function. So those are very important functions. Those are used inside your application when you will use it to display some code after a few seconds or few minutes. You can use the set timeout or set interval function. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. In this section we're going to work on the advanced usage of DOM. So I have a project like this one. This is a simple website. Inside the website we're going to add some transition effect. We're going to work on the JS to display the accordion, chord carousel and many other things. But before moving on the advanced, we need to know basic knowledge of the DOM. Means we're gonna get the element, we're gonna add the element, we're gonna delete the element. How we can do that? So let's understand that. But before working on the practically, I'm gonna show you one thing. So this is a website, normal website. You can click on that, you are able to see the model like repeated. You know how you can create a model, and earlier we have discussed that. As you can see, this is a simple model and you can create it and close it. So I have a file script.js. Inside there have a simple model code that will help us to display the model and hide the model, right? But this time I'm going to leave this one for loop. I'm going to show you another way to display and hide the model by using simple way. So first of all I'm going to select the BTN's open model, and we need to use that for each loop, and then you need to pass the parameter and select the particular parameter and use add event listener. Use the event will be click event and run the function. No, I don't need to run the function, I just leave it, and inside there I need to pass my open model function like this one. So let's look at that. Click on that, everything is same. I go to top of the page, everything is same. So I'm going to open my console screen and we're going to work on the advanced usage of DOM, right? So I go to my code editor and I'm going to remove this one section because I don't need that. Okay, I'm going to leave it. So selecting, creating and deleting. So the first thing is how I can select my whole document. Means I want to select my complete document. How I can do that? So you need to use console.log because I want to show you inside the console scheme. So you need to use document element. Once you do that, save it, then you will get complete document code inside the console scheme, right? Then I want to select my head tag, only head tag. So I need to use console.log and I'm going to use document.head head tag, because all of the code is appeared inside the document namespace. Right now, as you can see. Cool. Let's say I want to select my body tag, so I'm going to use console.log and I'm going to use document.body. So let's look at that. Right now, as you can see, head tag, and this is a body tag, right? You know how you can select the complete element, so I'm going to comment that. Let's talk about how we can select the element from HTML document. You know how you can select it by using query selector all, but this time I'm going to use selecting by ID, selecting by tag names, selecting by class name, and so on and so forth. So let's look at that. So first of all, I want to select my header tag, right? And I want to assign that value, or creating a variable to assign that. So let's look at that. I'm going to create a header, and I'm going to use document.querySelector, and inside there we need to pass the particular class name. So I have a class name inside my HTML document like header, so I need to get that and paste on here. But we need to add the dot sign because we have used the query selector. Perfect. Then I want to select my all sections code. In a minute I'm going to show you. As you can see, class is section, and we're gonna see another section like as well, as you can see. So how I can do that? I need to create a variable all section. I'm going to use document.querySelector all, because I want to select all of the sections, so I need to use dot section class on there, right? Let's look at that inside our console screen. So I'm going to use console.log and select the header. Right now, as you can see, complete header tag. Inside the header tag have a navbar and many other things. So I'm going to comment that, and I'm going to make it duplicate to display the all section inside the console screen. Right now, as you can see, node list. Inside the node list have a 4 section, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, as you can see. Perfect. Let's look at that, how we can select the element by ID. So I'm gonna use console.log, and I'm gonna use document. No, I'm gonna use document.getElement by ID, and we need to pass the particular ID name. So I think I have a ID like this one, but I also have another ID inside the section. So I'm gonna get that and paste on there. We don't need to add the hash sign because I've used get element by ID function inside there, right? So let's select all of the buttons. So I'm going to use const all, but when I click on that, it should be changed, right? So I'm going to move on top. Right, cool. So let's look at that, what happened when I click on that. So this time I'm going to use that console.log, and this is our link. I'm going to use comma, and I'm going to pass this one E to get the target. Same thing, I'm going to get that and paste on there. Inside there, this is our container, or you can say that the parent of this one link, and this is our neighbor. So I'm gonna check that inside my console screen. So, and first of all, I'm gonna click on the link. As you can see, a link, container, name, those are links right now have been appeared inside my console screen, and also have a different background color. But when I click on this one navbar, this one section, you will get only the particular section with background color. Let's work on the this one, container, nav container. So I'm going to click on that. I'm able to see the particular nav has been appeared. This is a call e-target, means you can click on that, you will get the particular result inside the console screen. So this is a call event propagation in JavaScript, means you can select it, you can add the multiple times event, you can do that. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's look at that how we can use the smooth scroll with our main nav bar. Means user will click on the feature, then it will move on the feature section. When user will click on the operations, then it will move on the operations section, and also testimonial. So we're going to use same tactics that we have learned on earlier. So let me share with you how you can do that. I'm going to share with you two best way to do the smooth scroll on our main nav bar. The first way is you need to use document.query selector all. Inside there you need to select all of the links like nav links, nav links, nav links, and nav links, right? Then you need to use, first I'm gonna link, then I'm gonna use for each loop because those are multiple links, so we need to use for each loop. Write the function passing the parameter. Use curly brackets. Inside the curly bracket, I'm going to target my EL element or parameter. Then I need to use add ML listener, which event, click event. Once the user will click, then this function will work on there. Inside this one function, I'm going to get the particular link code inside my console. So let's look at that how we can do this. So I'm going to use console.log e.target. First I'm going to save it, and let's look at that inside the console. I'm going to click on that. I'm able to see the particular links code has been appeared inside my console. Click on the next one code. Click on that, third one, perfect. But I want to get only this one data, section 3, section 2, section 1. How you can do that? You need to use get attribute to do the getting the value from the anchor link. So I'm going to create a variable const id, and I'm going to use this. When I use this, means I'm going to target my particular object, right? This means this link, right? This link, right? When user will click on the link, then I want to use get attribute, and passing the parameter is href. I need to get only href data and assign that data inside my id. So let's look at that inside the console. When user will click on the particular link, then it should be display the href text. Click on that, as you can see, section 1. Click on that, section 2, and click on the third one. Cool. We have successfully received the data from the href attribute. The next thing is you need to use document.query selector, and inside there you need to pass that particular variable that will get the attribute from the href. Then use scroll into view, use parentheses, curly brackets, use behavior smooth. It should be work perfectly, but one more thing we need to do, I'm going to show you this time. Click on that. It's working, but I can't see the smooth scroll right now, right? So how you can fix that? You need to go on there, and before the id you need to use e.preventDefault function that will help us to remove the page reload. So I'm going to refresh it, click on that. Right now, as you can see, click on that, click on that, right? So this is the first way, but the next way is very simple and very helpful for you. The next way is I'm going to select this one link, only this one link. Inside the URL have all of the links. So I'm going to target this one link. We have learned that event propagation and earlier we're going to use the same tactics inside there. So let's look at that. I'm going to use document.querySelector. Remember that I'm going to target nav __ links. This one I'm going to target this one. Add MLS nav. Click event, run the function, passing the parameter, and inside there I'm going to use same tactics that we have used on earlier. So let's look at that. Console, click on that. We have successfully received the data, right? Means it is working perfectly on this time. Once you do that, then the next thing is you need to use e.preventDefault function that will help us to stop the reloading of the page. The next one is very important. I go to top. When I click on the between feature and operation area, then also I will get the code like this one. But I need to avoid it because some user will click on this one, then my particular smooth scrolling is working not perfectly. So how you can fix that? You need to match the data. So let's look at that. I'm going to use if e.target.classList.contains parentheses. Inside there you need to pass that particular class name. Not this one, but the class name is navLink right now. This one. When user will click on that, then come into the if body. Inside the if body, I'm going to create a same tactics. Create a ID variable. Use e.target.get attribute. We need to get the attribute from the href link. So let's look at that inside the console. I'm going to comment this one and click on that. As you can see, click on the next one, perfect. Click on that, perfect. But when I click on the white space between the links, I can't getting the value on my console. It means it is working perfectly on this time. Cool. So I'm going to comment that. The next one is you just get this one code and paste on there. So and click on that. Cool. Click on that. Cool. Click on that. Cool. So it is called smooth scrolling by using multiple links, right? So I'm gonna get that and I'm gonna paste it top of my page, like the smooth scroll. So paste this one code. Smooth scroll. I'll leave that. So in the next video we're going to discuss another thing. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's look at that. The sibling in JavaScript means we're going to select the particular tag. Behalf of the particular tag we're going to select many other tags as you want. So let's look at that. I open my console and inside the console I go to elements, and inside the element, in a minute I'm going to show you. This is the header tag. Inside the header tag I'm going to select this one section. So here is the heading 1 tag. So I'm going to select this heading 1, then we're going to select all of the tags like h4, button tag, image tag, and top of the heading 1 tags by using JavaScript. So let's look at that. DOM parent and child. So I'm going to select my h1 and use document.querySelector h1. So once you select the particular tag, behalf of the h1 tag, you can select the parent and child of the h1 tag. So the parent of the h1 tag is, this is the h1 tag, this h1 tag parent is header title, and this heading tag is child is span tag, br tag, span tag. So let's look at that in JavaScript. So first of all, I'm going to select the down words childs, means I want to select the downward childs behalf of h1 tag. So let's look at that in the console scene. I'm going to use h1, then I'm going to select all of the tags down of the h1. So I'm going to use query selector all, and I'm going to select the highlights class. I'm going to show you different ways to do that. So first I'm going to save it, and let's look at it inside the console. Right now, as you can see, we have successfully selected the h span tag that have highlight classes, right? Another way, you can select the classes behalf of h1 tag. You can use h1.child nodes. It will give us the child of the h1 tag. So let's look at that span tag with the class of highlights, and also same class have another span tag, right? The last way, you can do the h1 and select the children that will help us to give us the children of the h1 tag. So let's look at that. Right now, as you can see, span tag, br tag, and also span tag. So we have seen like those tag inside the h1 tag, have a span tag, br tag, and also span tag, right? So let's look at that, how we can style that. So I'm going to select h1. This is another way. I'm going to select the first element child dot style, first element child. Remember that color I'm going to use white. So style. So right now, as you can see, right? And the next one is h1 last element child dot style dot color is right, as you can see, right? Behalf of h1 tag, you can select the child and also parents. So this is the downwards. Let's look at that. The upwards means top of the h1 tag, means parent of the h1 tag. So let's look at that. Console.log h1.parent node. So save, and the parent is header underscore title tag. Right now, h1, the parent is header underscore title, right? So you can use JavaScript to get the parent and child as well. Another way is you can use h1.parent element. So parent elements, and you'll get the same result, right? As you can see, this is the h1. This h1 parent is this one tag, right? So let's style that by using h1. This time I'm going to use closest function that will help us to select the particular closest tag. So I'm going to select the header class. Where is the header class? Like this one. I'm going to select the header class. Inside the header class, I have a different closest tags. So I'm going to select it and use style.background. This time I'm going to assign the background will be variable. So let's look at that. I'm going to use the secondary color like this one and save it. Let's look at that. As you can see, right? Let's style it by using same thing, but this time I'm going to select h1 tag style dot background this time I'm going to style that by using this one color. So this is a h1 tag. H1 tag closest is like this one area, right? As you can see. Perfect. The final one is side with siblings. So select the console.log h1 previous element sibling, save it, and you can't see anything else because in the h1 have a no previous sibling element, right? But you can use this way, console.log and h1 next sibling means after the h1 tag, then you will get the text. Right now, as you can see, node list, and the text is h4 after the h1, right? h4, and also have a same h1, right? So let's select the h1 parent element, the children. Select it, and we have received the data inside the console h1. This is also the parent, and the child is h4 button tag and also image, right? So let's use that to change the styling. So I'm going to use array 3 times dots, and I'm going to select the h1 tag dot parent element dot children of the h1. I'm going to use for each loop, use the function passing the parameter, and then I'm going to use if e not equal to h1, then I want to change the style. Like this one. Once you save it, and let's look at that, it doesn't affect on there, but I don't know why. Just a minute, I'm going to use this way. I'm going to leave that curly brackets and save it, and I think it should be no. I think something is wrong. So it's not equal to h1 e.style.transform scale 0. Okay, I think I need to remove this space, and yeah, it's working right now. As you can see, guys, this is my text is too small. This is also link and image. I've been decreased the size of the page. So it is called parent element children. You can select it and assign the particular style using JavaScript. So I hope you understood as well all about the siblings. You can use the particular tag to select the parent and also child, upwards and down. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's look at the tabs. When you will click on the particular tab, then I want to display the particular section data inside the container. So let's look at that, how we can do that. But before working on the JavaScript, we need to know the index.html page. Inside they have all of the content. Then I'm going to call the class. I'm going to use the class dot prototype. Once the data will match, then you will get the true result, otherwise we will get false. Right now, as you can see, this is a true, means those are same thing. John underscore property of the proto and personal prototype properties are matched. We have seen the data is true. Also, you can use the class and you can create a manually that we have used on earlier. So let's look at that. I'm going to calling the class, use prototype. I'm going to create a function using prototype. So I'm going to use courses, right, function curly brackets. Inside there I'm going to use console.log. We are learning just from scratch, like this one. So I'm gonna use same thing, john.courses. I will get the same results. So let's look at that. We are learning JavaScript from scratch. So I use the prototype to create a function, but you can use same thing without using prototype inside the class. So let's look at that. I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to use courses curly brackets and just paste on there. Leave this one. Behind the scene, it will automatically generate the prototype property when you will use that inside the class. So let's look at that. We are learning JS from scratch. We don't need to use the prototype manually inside there, right? Let's comment that, and I'm going to give you another example to creating a class using another property. So I'm going to use class vehicle curly brackets, calling the constructor, passing the parameter name, mecha, and engine, right? Use curly bracket, and I'm going to use same thing. Name, assign the name, this dot mecha equal to mecha, and this dot engine, assign the engine, like that. So also I'm going to create a function inside there. So get detail curly brackets. So inside there I'm going to use return keyword, parentheses, return template, the name of the vehicle is start name, like that. So create a class, create a method, and also we're gonna use calling the class object and assign it inside the variable, like that. So create a variable I'm gonna use car, new vehicle class name, use parentheses. You need to pass 3 parameters. The first one is the name of the vehicle, so I'm gonna use Altis, and the second one is the company maker name is Toyota, and engine size is 1299, like that. And then I'm going to use same thing, const car to new vehicle, and this time I'm going to use Sonata, and maker name is Hyundai, and engine is 199, like that. So this is a car too, right? So this is a very easy way to use it inside the class, right? You don't need to use the prototype, but you must have a knowledge all about the prototype, right? So and what happened the prettier on there, just a minute. Okay, so let's use the console.log, and I'm going to use the car dot, I want to get the name of the car. So let's look at that. What 177, like that. There is a mistake. In a minute. So I'm gonna comment that and just check that what left hand in a minute. I'm gonna leave this one, and first I'm gonna check that what happened inside there. Left hand side assignment. Okay, cool. So here's my mistake, so I'm gonna leave that and you will get the result right now, as you can see. But I want to get only name of the car, so I need to use dot and name. So let's look at that. Altus. I'm going to use same thing, but this time I'm going to uncomment that and I'm going to leave this one equal sign on there. And the next one I'm going to use maker will be in the second one, and also I want to use a method that contains from the get order. So and let's look at the result. Altus Hyundai, the name of the vehicle is Altus right now, as you can see. So you can use the class. Inside the class you can create a method. You don't need to use the prototype, so it is very clean and clear code. You can use it to do this something new, but you must have a knowledge all about the constructor and also prototype and how does work it. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's look at that, the setter and getter properties in JavaScript. We're gonna use that to set and get the data, get the value from the class. So let's look at that, how we can do that. You can also use that inside the object as well. So I'm going to show you two ways you can use the setter and getter. First of all, I'm going to use const and then use a const get object. Moments, and I'm gonna assign the random values like that, right? So this is our object, simple object. Inside there I'm gonna use console.log accounts save, open the browser, and our object has been appeared inside our console right now, right? So inside there you can use the setter and getter property to set and get the value. So I'm going to use the get value. So you can use get keyword and write the name using parentheses, and inside the curly bracket you need to use the logic to get the data from the current object. So I'm going to use return this dot movements dot slice parentheses -1. I'm going to get the data from pop parentheses. So you can use this way dot latest to get the result inside the console. Right now, as you can see, 986, and this logic will help us to get the data from the array, large number of the array, right? So inside the moments array have a maximum number of this one, 986, right? So this is a call get method. You need to use the like a dot and property name. You don't need to use the parentheses because it is not a method, it is only property. And set a value. So I'm going to add the value inside my movements array using set property and use latest. So inside there I'm going to passing the parameter like move. I'm going to use no. This dot movement dot push parentheses move, right? So how you can set the data? You need to use accounts dot latest, and you need to use equal sign. You don't need to use parentheses and passing the parameter inside there. You need to use equal sign because this is a property. Inside there you need to add the value like 1500 like that. So, and I'm gonna get it and you'll get the result inside the console as well. As you can see, this is a large number, but I want to display all of the data. So let's look at that. As you can see, our latest number has been appeared inside the array, 1500 right now, right? So this is a call setter getter. So I use the object, so let's comment out, and I'm going to use it in the class. Inside the class we're going to use same thing that we have used on there. So create a class personal CL. I think I need to check out. Yes, I committed all of the code, so I don't need to use constructor. And yeah, full name. I'm going to use full name, birth year, property, this, just a minute, vehicle, and yeah, this is our complete class. So we need to get that because I need to save the time and increment. Right, so this is the first name, so I'm going to change that to display full name. And also we need to use full name, and cool. So const John new and personal class. I'm going to pass in the value John, comma 185. That. So this is a normal class, and we're going to use the console.log and use John variable to display the data inside the console right now. Cool. Full name, John, and birthday. So inside there we're going to create a set and getter, or you can say the set and getter to set the data and get the data. So let's look at that. So I'm going to use get edge. I'm going to get the edge from there. I know I already used the function, but I'm going to show you how you can use the get to get the edge from there, right? Use return keyword and use 2040 negative by this dot birth year, save, and then you need to use dot edge like that. So you will get only edge right now, as you can see. So this is the only property. You need to use the particular object name or variable name, then you can access that with the help of property. As you can see, when I hover that, I'm able to see this is a property of the class. Cool. So let's set the property that already exists. Let's say I have a property full name, so I'm going to use it to set the same property. This time I'm going to show you another important thing. So I'm going to use full names, use set keyword full name, passing the parameter, use calibrate. Inside there you need to use the logic if name dot includes, use double quotation, and also you need to use the space. Means after the single name user will enter the space, then I'm gonna use this dot full name and assign a name value. Otherwise I want to display the alert and use name is not full name. I want to get the full name from the user, right? So once you save that, I already made the object of the class, then you will able to see John is a not full name right now, as you can see. But when you will add the space like that, save, and you will get the error right now, as you can see. Maximum call stack size exceeded, right? So how you can fix that? Because I have a same name, so you need to use, this is a tactics, this is not use underscore on there, and yeah, okay, I think so. Right now, as you can see, everything is clear on there. underscore full name, this is a property name, and the name is John. I have used the space key inside my keyboard, then you can see here the full name, but then after the space I'm going to use tau, so you'll get that. Then you will remove the space and also the second one name sir, and you'll get the John is not full name, right? So this is the usage of set and get property inside the JS. Get property is used to get the data from the current object or current class. Set property is used to set the data inside the class or inside the object. So I hope you understood as well. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's look at the static method in JavaScript. So first of all, I'm going to get the constructor. I go to top of the page where I have used the constructor like that. So I'm going to get this one and I'm going to show you usage of the constructor. Like this one, so I'm gonna leave this one. I just use those things, right? Also leave this one. So I want to create a static method with the help of constructor. So I need to use the constructor name, write the static method name like display data parentheses, no, use function parentheses calibrated. And inside there I'm going to use console.log and use display. This is static method like that. So calling static method. So you need to target your person class, constructor and display data. Then you'll get the data inside the console. Let's look at that, right? Just a minute. Okay, I'm going to give you an example on this one, array.from. So this is a call static method, right? But I will create an object or create a calling constructor. So I will create an object, you can say variable, and passing the constructor value inside the John like this one. So I'm going to passing the value John, and this will be birth year 1985, right? So I want to use the display data function by using John constructor or John variable, right? You can't do that. Calling a static method and instance property of constructor, right? So this is the instance property of the constructor. So let's look at that. What happened? I'm going to use John.display data. So let's look at that. John.display data is not a function. Why? Because I made the function static function with the help of class. Without class you can't use the static method, right? So the static method is stored inside the constructor. You can use it with the help of constructor, with the help of constructor name, right? Without constructor name you can't use that, right? So let's look at that, the example inside the console by using array. So array.from, this is a static method, right? So I'm going to use document.query selector all parentheses h1. I have a data inside the array h1, right? So inside there I'm able to see the data has been appeared inside my console, right? By using array.from. So I've used same thing like this one, person.display data. So we have seen the result inside the console. Means this is my constructor name and this is my method name. So it is similar like this one. This is the array and this is the array method that are stored inside the constructor of array. Once you done that, then you can easily use the static method, but I'm gonna use this way, like create array 1 2 like this one, and then I'm gonna use from. As you can see, type here dot from is not a function, so this is my array. This function doesn't exist inside the array, inside the array functions, but the from method is stored inside the array constructor, like this one, like this one. So you can use this one with the help of array constructor, right, like this one. So this is a call static method. So let's look at that by using a static method inside the class. So I'm going to get the class like this one, and inside there you can use same thing, but inside that I'm gonna remove some of the code like this one, right? So I will use the, first of all I'm going to show you another example on that, but before using that I'm going to use static display data return. When you will use return, then you need to use the console.log, otherwise you can use the console.